What if you could spend the next period of time learning from the best people we have, given every tip they have, what they've done? You know, one of the things as we bring people up to speak that I love, we go through reports to take a look. What have they actually done in the field? How have they built? What's going on? And as we go into this segment, these are some of the top, not only recruiters, but builders along with that, which is vital to understand because there's more than just recruiting. The first person that I am going to bring up, I will tell you, we had to choose whether to put her on recruiting or retailing because she finished in the top 5 to 10 in each category. That's a tremendous, tremendous accomplishment. She's a supervising coordinator, just hit that level. You saw her recognized on stage, a master on franchise owner, multiple challenge winner, a president's challenge winner. She's from Paducah, Kentucky. Please help welcome up Stacy McKinney.
First, I want to thank Jim for calling me and asking me to speak to you all. It's a very big honor to be here. So, like Jim said, I'm from Paducah, and I'm a mom. I'm a single mother. I have 3 girls. I've been raising them on my own for many, many years. I was working 60 to 80 hours a week. You know, a lot of hours, a lot of time away from my family. And you can see, this is my Throwback Thursday picture, okay? So even though I'm a nurse and I'm working in critical care and I'm helping people, I'm having some issues myself. And it was getting ready to be my 40th birthday. And I knew it was time for me to get healthy. And so I was searching around, who has time working 60 to 80 hours, right? So I'm looking on Facebook and I'm trying to find ways to get healthy. And I come across a post that Susan Thomas makes. I find it interesting. I'm watching her on Facebook. I'm watching what she's doing. I'm connecting to her. And so she becomes my health coach. I've lost 90 pounds, 72 inches. .27% body fat, and I feel, and you can see I look better than I did when I was in my 20s and 30s. So, our company has amazing products, and you know, I fell in love with them, and I wanted to be able to help other people. I wanted to be able to, what Susan helped me do, I wanted to be able to do that and help other people accomplish those goals. You know, so I really didn't know anything about starting a business. All I knew was about taking care of my kids and being a nurse, helping other people. That was what was inside of me. So I wanted to be able to do that, and I got started. I went ahead and registered my business, loved the products, loved the fact I could help, and so I started doing it on Facebook. Like I said, I'm from Paducah, Kentucky. There was no NMTSS. There's nothing there. I don't even know how many of y'all have heard of it. So I started posting on Facebook, reaching out to people, you know, branding myself. That's what it's about. People are going to be able to connect with you. Whenever you make a post on Facebook, you need to think to yourself, what's this post going to do? Who am I able to help? So I'm posting about my family. I'm posting about health and wellness. I just recently started a Facebook page. I've actually been able to connect with more people on my personal wall. So, you know, I'm getting clients, I'm coaching them, we're doing it on Facebook just the way that I had found Susan. You know, so I'm going around, I'm doing that, I'm helping them, and I'm using social media, but here's the thing, I had no idea what I was doing on social media. You know, I'm bribing my kids, my teenagers to help me, what do I do, what do I do? So I started with Facebook, and that's the thing I want to tell y'all. You know, start with one, pick one, and get good at it, and then look at branching out. And, you know, our company has just talked about, Sarah Rostak came out, we're gonna have the internet training, so that's awesome. You know, so then Susan calls me up one day and says, what are you doing? Because it's 5.5 months in the business. I don't have a business partner. 5.5 months, I don't have the very first business partner. You know, I've been to convention. 2 years ago was my very first one, blown away, absolutely blown away. So, you know, I'm watching, I'm listening to my audios, I'm doing the training. Susan's doing clearing calls with us, and the biggest one that stuck out with me and what Susan kept bringing up was Elizabeth Weber. So thank you. And it was about doing 3-way calls. I didn't have to be the expert. I just had to let Susan know who my people were, and I had to get them on the phone with her. So I was like, oh my gosh, okay, I'll do it. So I started getting people on the phone, and as soon as I did that, guess what happened? 1 week later, I was activated in a coordinator as soon as I started getting people on the phone. Okay. So it scared the heck out of me, so you just got to get out of your comfort zone, and you just got to do it. You know, make your names list, get that list, get them on the phone with your people, and just go. Just do it. That's the biggest thing. So where are the people? You know, I'm working 60, 78 hours a week. Where am I going to find these people? They're all over the place. And you can connect with them on social media. Think about who you interact with your children. Think about, you know, who you've seen at the grocery store, who you went to school with. Look for them. Find them out there. They're out there. And to me, recruiting has to do with building relationships. You know, Jim called and said I had sponsored 26 people. When I think of sponsoring 26 people, I think about the families. I think about their children. I think about what can we do to help other people. You know, it's a relationship process. It's getting to know them. It's asking them questions. How can I help them? You know, I say it's not a numbers game. Yes, we need to know how many do we need to call, how many plans do we need to show, but don't let your people that you're talking to know, oh, you're just a number, because they're not. They're real people. You want to have that connection with them. The biggest thing is you've got to be consistent and you've got to follow up. Many of my business partners, you know, I said it took me 5.5 months. They'd been watching me on Facebook. They had been seeing what I was doing. I had built a following, but you know, it took 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 18 months before I was able to, you know, sponsor the people. So just make sure that you follow up, be yourself, let people connect with you. You've got to have your purpose and you got to have your why. And the thing is, you want to be able to help your people figure out what it is, why are they doing it, what's their purpose, what can I do to help you? You know, I spent all that time for so many years working, not with my children. I want to be able to help you guys have more time with your family and with your children. So how can I help you? That was the biggest thing with me. And so the biggest thing is you got to go. You got to get to the events, okay, guys? It's about building belief. You've got to go. Like I said, I didn't have an NMTSS, so we just pretty much went on a road tour. We packed up and we went. We picked out the leaders and we went and we found them and we followed. We took little nuggets and we took action on that. And here's the thing, you got to put it in your calendar and you got to show up. And I know sometimes life and family gets in the way. Well, this is what you do. This is what me and my partner Danielle Mitschke did, and she was a President's Challenge winner. So we packed up our kids and we went and saw Jim Winkler. So take them with you, okay? Just get it on a calendar and go. Moving Up Seminar, we were very lucky to have Scott and Lisa Grogan come to Paducah. We were lucky to have Sue Pasquale come and teach us. And the biggest thing I want to say is don't be afraid to share this business because you never know who needs it. The biggest thing is, you know, it's about time, freedom, financial freedom so that we can spend the time with the people that we love. Over the last year, I've lost 5 people in my life, and the only thing that you can think of is what if I had more time to spend with them? So get out there, talk to the people, get out of your comfort zone, share the business. We've got the best thing out there.
She's gotten out and gotten after it. She drove 5 hours to local seminars. She went to the Moving Up seminar and took people with her. I mean, you gotta be proud of when you hear things like that and understand these are real people talking to you. The next person that I'm gonna bring up really came into focus during the Northern region. All of a sudden, this lady, we do an MVP, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, she popped up as one of those top candidates, right, Chris? And I started getting to know her a little bit, talk to her a little bit. Suddenly we looked at the report. She had just sponsored 18 personally sponsored people, but almost all of them this year by July. She's an executive coordinator. She's about to move to the next level, 2 levels, 3 levels. She's retired her husband from work already. I was just talking to her in the back, and she said, Jim, the numbers are wrong because I've sponsored more. She goes, I did 4 last week. And I said, Krista, we can't count last week. This lady's going to give you a treat. Please help me welcome up Executive Coordinator Krista Deak.
Hello, everybody. I want to hear the excitement you had when Jamie Foxx was up here. Where have you all been? So, my name is Krista Deak. I am from Plymouth, Wisconsin. I am a mother of 4. My babies are 9, 8, 5, and 2. My husband was working 60, 70 hours a week when I was approached with this business, and honestly, I did not want anything to do with it because I had done those things. I did Pampered Chef and all the other multi-level marketing companies. So because of that, I almost passed up this opportunity. I decided to look at it and fell in love with the idea that I could get paid to shop online. That's the only reason I bought the business originally. And I tricked my husband into seeing the business plan. And, well, here I am. So it worked. A year ago, I sat way up there and said, I'm going to be on that stage one day, even though I really didn't want to be up here. But I knew that if I wanted to grow, I would have to do something outside of my comfort zone. So we fell in love with the products. My husband and I each lost 65 pounds with TLS. But the products have changed our lives, and the business, I'm so passionate about our business plan. I can tell you guys and assure you guys we have the best business plan out there. We have been working very hard to retire my husband. You know, I'm not going to lie, we're not floating on cloud 9 yet. We are not out of debt, but without this business, we wouldn't have had the option to have him leave his corporate job. So people always ask me, what's your secret? How do you do it? And I was telling Jim that I don't feel like there's a secret. There are no tips, and it really comes down to belief. And I believe in this plan 1,000%. And I tell every single person that I meet with that I believe in it, and that I tell them I will be with them every single step of the way. And to just believe in me, and we will do it together. And every single person that I sit down with, I already assume when I walk into that appointment that they're going to purchase their business that day. Why wouldn't they? I mean, this is such an amazing opportunity. And this is so important too. Do not prejudge anyone, because when you do, you may miss an opportunity for yourself as well. So don't prejudge anybody. This plan is for anybody who wants something more in their life. And, you know, excuses. I found myself making excuses for other people in the beginning. And I would say, well, they're not going to spend $400 on this business, or they're too busy, or they make more money. And as soon as I threw those excuses out and all my excuses on why I couldn't build this business, that's when I started to see results. My excuses were, I have 4 kids, we have no money. So I made those my reasons to succeed, and that's when I started to see stuff happen for us. I have built 95% of this business on social media. And let me tell you, I see Sarah Rose up here talking about social media, and I'm like, I need to learn some stuff from her. I don't even know social media. So if I can build 95% of my business with social media, then any of you can. And all I say to people is, I watch their Facebook feeds, and if I like what they're posting on Facebook, they're positive, they're upbeat, they're happy people, then I reach out to them. And it's simply, I may have a business opportunity for you, It may or may not be for you. Either way, it's fine with me. I can't guarantee you anything. When would you like to sit down and have a cup of coffee? Not can you, when? Next week, Tuesday or Thursday? It's so simple, you guys. And I don't know if you've all seen it, but Cheyn has phenomenal verbiage out there on YouTube. Listen to the video, say it over and over again, and it becomes fluid. Creating relationships. You guys, be genuine to people. I hate the word recruiter. I honestly hate the word recruiter. I do not feel like I'm a recruiter. I feel like I have an opportunity and I want to share it with the entire world because I know that I can change people's lives. So when you sit down in front of somebody and you're genuine about helping them and wanting to change their lives, they understand, they trust you. They can feel that. I have such high energy sometimes. People are like, I need what you have. And I'm like, well, take some isotonics. Listen to what they say. Don't automatically always jump to what you want out of this. Listen to what they want and then approach them with a solution. If they don't want it, that's fine. Don't be weird. Share. Like I said, just share the opportunity with them. If they say yes, fantastic, take them with you. If they say no, that's fine too. And if they say no, I always say, can I follow up with you in 6 months? And I literally write their name in my calendar and I call them because you know what? 6 months from now, nothing's going to change for them. And don't be weird. I mean, that is what it is, you know. So make your excuses, your reasons to succeed. And I cannot wait to get home and download that new updated plan and show it. I hope you guys have your calendars booked solid. I know I do. And if they're not, you need to leave here and you need to go make some calls and you need to book your calendar for the next month. So thank you guys. Have a great weekend and enjoy the rest of the week.
4 kids under the age of 9. Boy, that takes away a few. It sounds like she knew Andy Webb. That was 7 kids under the age of 9. Moving into our next presenter, I'm really proud to bring this lady up. I've had the pleasure of being able to spend time with her, quite a considerable amount of time over the last 6 months, working with her and working with her team and watching what she can do. She's so dedicated to this business. It's amazing. If I can think of one word, it would be dedication when I think of her. She sponsored 18 people in the last 10 months. And actually, it's a couple more than that because, again, we cut that deadline off about the 10th of July. She's an executive coordinator who is on her way, fast-tracking to hire on franchise level. She's a criminal defense attorney. Please help me welcome Dawn Florio.
Who remembers me from World Conference? I am that super busy lawyer that if you want to spend time with me, you have to get arrested or you have to have an interest in Market America. I was on my way to that 45-year plan, working myself to death with no free time. Now, Joseph Cartagena, Fat Joe, introduced me to Market America and formed Team Fat Joe. Fat Joe, come up. Azariah, come up. Let's have a hand for them. Come here, hold my hand, Azzy. Now, to be a super successful recruiter, you have to be relentless, right, Joe? Relentless. Recruiting is not for the lazy, and it's not for the fearful.
No quitting.
And recruiting is a business. It's not a hobby. You cannot have $1 million business if you have a minimum wage work ethic. Recruiting is a lifestyle that I incorporate into my business and to my life every day. Now, I had a meeting for a criminal client who was a very prominent accountant. He was there with his wife, and he got arrested for smoking weed in his car. He was very, very stressed out, and him and his wife were sitting there, and he's so nervous, he doesn't want to lose his license. I'm like, have you ever heard of Market America? I treat recruiting like dating. Who's single here? Now, you have to kiss, they say, a lot of frogs to find your prince. Is that right, Joe? It takes time to find the perfect partner, and it takes time to find a qualified business partner. Is that right? Now, recruiting is a lifestyle. Now, it takes time to find the perfect partner, so to be very successful as a recruiter, you have to treat it like love, okay? Now, as it takes time to find the perfect partner, you have to be in love with the business. Now, recruiting is
everything.
Oh, okay, thank you. Now, there's the top 10 fast-track recruiting techniques. The first, number 10, change your mindset. Branding yourself. You have to be a warrior. Be confident and positive. You have to have posture and swag. Number 9, relationship building. Let the people talk. They need to talk 90%. You have to talk 10%. Establish trust. People can tell if you're trying to bamboozle them into the business. You have to be detached about the outcome. Don't have an agenda. And don't take it personally if they said no. Listen for their pain. Talk to them. Find out. Be a great listener. And then be the problem solver. 8, call workshops at least once a week. Call people. Don't email and text. It's not as effective. And then you set the appointment. 7, going hard on social media by posting at least daily. Now, Instagram has made my business explode. A lot of you from convention have followed me on Instagram. I post very positive, inspirational messages all the time. Plus my family, my friends, and I post about the business. Like I said, recruiting is like dating. You don't want stalkers. You don't want to be too over-anxious. You gotta fall back and be in demand. You have to be mysterious. So the things that I post get people interested. I don't bombard them with my business. I just give them a little taste. I make them want me and want the business. Reason number 6, doing weekly accountability groups, conference calls and corings, major. 5, be a product of the product. Know the Market America products and expose them to prospects. Have them at your home business presentations and your one-on-one presentations. 4, follow the ABC pattern to build in depth. You have to expose the products to your prospects. 3, follow the leader and then lead by example. Here's my leader right here. I follow him all over. Every night, 5 days a week, 6 days a week, we're in the homes. we're in the businesses. We're building together as a team. Team Fat Joe!
She's, I don't know if people truly understand, she's a criminal defense attorney. She's actually doing a murder case right now. And she stays in the courthouse till 5 o'clock when it's over and comes to the Bronx and sells makeup with us. So if she doesn't make excuses, why you make excuses?
Now, you have to be educated, and to do that, you have to teach your team, and then you lead by example. Number 2, never get discouraged, never give up. Elizabeth Weber, where's Elizabeth Weber? Stand up, Elizabeth! Elizabeth, how many no's did you get when you were prospecting? Okay, this is the #1 earner in the company. What if Elizabeth stopped? What if she stopped at 10, 20, 50? She wouldn't be paid right now. Follow Elizabeth Weber's lead. Do not get, the more no's you get, that should inspire you, make you more hungry. Tell me no, and I'm gonna prove you wrong. This is a lifetime endeavor. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. We are not twisting anyone's arm to be in the business. Now, think about an unattractive person who asks people on a date. That person could talk to like 100 people. Eventually, someone is gonna say yes. So don't give up on love, and don't give up on recruiting. Number 1, recruiting is not only a process, but a journey to change lives. Be passionate, be fearless, but most important, Azzy, do we have fun?
Yes.
Raise your hand. We have fun, and we make amazing friends. Right, Joe? My best friends in the world are from Market America. I love you all.
You know, Joe said she stops at 5 o'clock. Lisa and I know different. There's times we've been out doing home presentations with Dawn. We finish at 9:30 or 10, and she leaves to go to court then and doesn't get home till 2 or 3 and is back up at it the next morning. So, I mean, when she talks about working hard, she's putting the time in and making it happen like we all can. Now, the next person I'm bringing up, very near and dear to my heart, she is my sister-in-law. She is also one of the top recruiters in the entire company this year, with 32 people sponsored during the last 12 months. And when you take a look at that, you know, the last couple people we had up were executive coordinators, relatively new in the business. This is someone with 16 years in the business, a director with the company, and I think you're gonna really love hearing what she has to say. Please help me welcome up Director, $1 Million Club member, Lynn Michke.
Like Jim said, I'm a veteran of this business. It's been almost 16 years now, and in the beginning, I built like crazy. And then, many of you can probably relate to this, you get a little bit comfortable. And while I was always doing some building, it was never at the pace that I probably really felt I should be doing. So last year I sat at this convention and I got a little bit uncomfortable with how I was building my business and how I was treating my business. So I said, I'm going to set out on a different plan for a year. But I want to think about it first. And so I took a really hard look at everything in my business, where I was. I felt like I was way too comfortable. Was I thinking other people should be doing more than me? Sometimes we do that, right? If only this person would do that or that person would do that. What don't I know? Am I growing? What am I really capable of doing if I put my mind to it? And where do I want to be in a year? And it was kind of painful because I really felt that what I had was a gift that I didn't value enough. I just wasn't putting enough value on it. 14 years without a job, that's incredible. Living on your own terms, there should be a high value on that. I wanted more people making money. I could hide out and drift from week to week and have a good time.
right? But still get paid. Far too comfortable. I wanted things just to happen. And really, really said, am I really a leader? I had to call that into question for myself. Because leaders lead. They don't expect people to do things that they're not doing. They get out in front and pave the way. They make it happen. They are the ones that set the pace. And I didn't feel I was doing well enough at that. And then I said, why do JR and Lauren and everybody else on the corporate team work 24/7 with the passion for everybody in this room, and I work 7 hours in 24 days? Something's wrong with this picture. Really wrong. I'm the person that needs to change. That was the memo I sent to myself. Get out there and do something. So I started setting a plan, and anybody can do this. Take that assessment, figure out where you are, where you want to be, what your goal is going to be, and it was time for a change. And I made a decision, I'm going to change. For a year, I'm going to do something radically different, and I'm going to make a commitment to it, and every single week, I'm going to do it. But I needed a strategy, because I'm a veteran. This is a new time. New learning for new times. And I love what the company's done with that, because there's so many tools now. So you can learn anything. It doesn't matter. Don't say, well, I'm too old for that. Or learn it. Just figure it out, and I had to do that. And I was determined, and I didn't want it to be easy. I wanted it to hurt and burn. You don't go to the gym and say, I'm not going to do anything. I'm really not going to break a sweat. Well, maybe I do, but other people don't. So I wanted to hurt really bad. So my decision was, and I admit that I had a few adult beverages when I made this decision, or it might have been different, but I was going to show the plan to 10 personal prospects 5 days a week for 1 year. Okay? It's a lot, right? Whew. Okay, so 10 a week. That was my goal. So that's 40 in 4 weeks, right? Scary. I freaked out. What I just say I was going to do, I shouldn't have had that last glass of wine. But I wanted to prove I could do it and overcome sponsorship objections. Even though I didn't have a lot of prospects, I wasn't thinking about that at the time. I wanted to earn the money I'm being paid from this company. I wanted to earn it. I wanted to sponsor 26 new people in the year, motivate and be that leader. And I was like, I don't have prospects. I have a few. I don't have any learning. What am I going to do? I got to figure this out. And you get scared, right? But like Dawn said, you can't have $1 million dream and a minimum wage work ethic. You got to get to it and just get out there and do it. And I did get scared. I told myself a lot of things. This is impossible. I'm never going to stick to it. How am I going to find the people? I don't think I can do this anymore. But the mindset is, you can do it. It's just a matter of deciding and committing to what you're going to do and carrying that commitment through. And I just kept talking to myself, you will find the right people. You take 14 breaths a minute. This is going to become as natural as that. And you're capable of doing twice this. So you need to be quiet and get to it. Okay? Here's my results. Every one of these is a 4-week period, and you can see that I failed most of the time, because I should have had 40 appointments in every single one of those blocks. In fact, there's only 2 4-week periods when I actually met that goal. So I failed most of the time, except for 2 4-week periods. But at the end of the day, I showed the business to 336 people and had good sponsorship results with it. Why? Not because I'm great, but I made a decision, and I committed myself to that decision, week in, week out, and it wasn't always easy. I take care of my grandchildren in the morning, and when they leave at noon, I just want to sit down in the chair and go, whew, it was a morning. But instead I say, no, you made a commitment. You made a decision. You got to get to work and do it. So my database of prospects went from 4 to 417 in 45 weeks. And I keep bringing the business back to those people over and over again. So the message is, just make a decision. Whether you think you can or not, it really doesn't matter. Because once you commit to it, you will do it. and your entire business will change as a result of it. Put a pen to it, sign it, post it, and call yourself out on it every single day. I had to do that many, many days. Just call myself out. Slacker. I know Kevin said lard ass. I'm not sure I really said that, but if he did, I was the one. Can't do that today, right? Here's the problem with commitment. It means staying loyal to what you said you were going to do long after the mood you set it in has left you. And the mood will leave you. That's for sure. But if you stay committed, you will find out what you're really capable of doing. So just go for it. Thank you.
That's amazing, isn't it? I remember when she called Lisa and I up, and she said, I'm making a commitment to do this for the next year. And we hung up the phone. I said, man, she's crazy, Lisa. And all of a sudden, week after week, it started showing up, and all of a sudden, these incredible numbers. And it was inspiring to everyone around, because we all saw if you make that decision, you can do it. You're here today, you can make that decision and be able to do that. The next trainer coming up to talk about recruiting, many of you have seen talk about this. He's got some great videos on YouTube that he uses. He's been consistently the last 3 years in our top 20 as recruiters. I think he's one of the finest trainers in the company. Both he and Lynn will be training in October on the Moving Up seminar with us. So if you have an interest in learning how to recruit, these may be some good ones to get into in October. Please help me welcome up one of my best friends, also in the business, Supervising Coordinator Cheyn Crangle.
So I'm not going to talk about any personal stories, thank you. I'm going to get straight into recruiting. I love recruiting. The reason I love it is because if you love this business and you know it can help somebody, it's your job and your duty to let them know more about it. Now, I'm going to break down maybe recruiting a little bit differently than most people. I'm going to talk about what you want to do when you sit down at a one-on-one with somebody and begin the recruiting process. How many people here do one-on-ones, two-on-ones? Know what I'm talking about, right? How many people plan on doing a lot more of them once you leave here? This is not the only way to do the business. This is just what I do. So if what you're doing works right now, keep doing it. But this is what I do. There's a couple of key things. You notice I operate in threes. Threes is what the Marine Corps taught me. That's how the infantry was broken down, and that's what I've broken it down for my business. And if you haven't followed me in any of these fine establishments yet, I am trying to beat Andrew Weissman, so please follow me on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. State of mind. I have worked with CEOs of companies. I've worked with very successful people. I've worked with doctors. I've worked with professionals. Here's the bottom line. When they start their business and they partner with us, all of them have the skill sets that are necessary to be successful with this business. They have the network, they have the credibility, they have everything backing them. Why do some of them fail at this business? State of mind. It is not good enough just to know that you have the skill sets to do it. You have to believe that this business is going to work for you and that this is what you want to happen before other people will successfully follow you on your journey and your vision. Does that make sense? So before you can even become an amazingly successful recruiter, you have to yourself accept and acknowledge that you yourself want this business to happen. All right, so it all starts with you and your state of mind. And at the beginning of the meeting, when you sit down, there's a couple of things that you want to address right away. Number one, your attitude. Every single person, I want you to hear this, every single person that you know, every single one of them deserves to see this business, because if you put your stamp of approval on it, it should be good enough for anybody that you know. Does everybody understand that? So your attitude when you sit down should come from a standpoint of, listen, I have what it takes, they need me, I'm here to offer them something that they can change their life with, and they're very lucky that I gave them an hour to sit down and grab coffee. Your attitude and your posture and demeanor need to be that way. And as the interview process continues, many of you know my 3 keys to success that I establish every single time. But if you haven't really implemented this yet when you're recruiting, do these 3 things, guys, every single time right away at the beginning. Number 1, what is it? Never overpromise. The first thing I tell somebody when I sit down with them, listen, I'm here to let you know right now, this is not a get rich quick. This is not sign up and you're a millionaire. This is not Lamborghinis in 3 months. This is a business that takes time, it takes work, and it takes sweat equity. And if anybody ever tells you you can make a lot of money really fast and you don't got to do anything at all, they're usually lying. This is a real business with a 2 to 3 year vision. And all of a sudden they sit up. Because number 2 hits them. You're going to be blunt and honest. And I let them know right away up front, and I say it just like this. Elizabeth, I just want you to know you could absolutely fail. Why? Because it's a business. And if you don't put in any time or any effort, you're not going to make any money. And when you're honest and you're upfront with them, they listen to you. And the last one, don't be weird or rude. Let them know, listen, I'm here to find out if this is a good match for you. If it's not, we're still going to be friends. If we go to the bar, I'm still going to have a beer with you. I'm not going to talk about what I'm doing, but I'm here to show you an opportunity. Follow these 3 steps. The middle of the meeting. Number 1, explain transfer buy, guys. I know a lot of people get to the end of the presentation, they even schedule the follow-up, and that's when they plan on telling the requirements of the business to the potential prospect. Get those things done right away. You know why? Because they sit up again, they listen, and they know that you're there to really inform them on how to build a business. Explain Form 1000. Let them know there's a sales requirement. These things right here explain the increase in BV, guys, as your business starts to progress and you earn more. These are all things that happen naturally in any other business. We are no different. And be proud of the fact that we have requirements. Transfer buy is not a bad thing. It's a great thing. The fact we have to do $200 in sales every quarter is a great thing. Because those other companies that don't make it, the reason why is they don't have requirements, and that's why their people don't go anywhere. Be proud of these things. Be proud that we have them in place. End of the meeting. Number 1, sell a ticket. Always sell a ticket. When it ends, your business meeting should end one of these 3 ways every single time. A ticket sold, a product sold, and a follow-up booked if they're truly interested. Every time. How do you sell a ticket? Here's a simple saying that I put out there every time. I know Jim says the same thing. Listen, better to spend $30 right now and buy a local seminar ticket and find out the business is not a right fit than spend $400 and find out you're not going to be successful with your business. Would you agree? Yeah, $30 makes a lot more sense. Exactly. Have the ticket on hand. How many people bought 3 tickets to World Conference? Guys, that is the fundamentals of the business. I bought 10 tickets today. Why? Because I know I'm going to sell them. If you don't buy tickets, you're basically telling yourself, I'm not showing the business plan in between now and February. You get the tickets because the tickets will be sold. When you want to sell a product, sell a product. Hey, Elizabeth, listen, glad we could sit down. I'm glad you got your ticket. Here's what we want to do. I want to know which division of products that I went through earlier interested you the most. That is where we are going to start, so we can also make sure you even like our products before you do anything in the business. Let's get that order right now. Side note, many people that you sit down with will not just jump at the opportunity to purchase a product. Have your website open, search for the product, create the customer account, put it in their cart right there in front of them, and help them with the checkout process. Does this have to be a $200 order? No. I think the last 4 one-on-ones we did, we just sold a Mocha Tonics. Any product sold is a home run, guys. They're gonna try it, and it automatically locks them into the follow-up because now you have a reason to follow up with them. And when you schedule the follow-up, I know this is a lot in one little bit, but when you schedule the follow-up, guys, when do we want to schedule it? 24 to 48 hours, as soon as possible. Does everybody meet in that time frame? No, but you should expect them to and try to push that for as early as possible. If it doesn't happen, you push it out later, but schedule that follow-up and be aggressive because you have what they need. They're in your game right now, all right? And this is how I look every person in the eye at the end. And those of my business partners that have sat down with me with 2-on-1s, you can put in any word you want in there, but when I look at somebody at the end of the day, I say it just like this. Look him in the eye and say, I don't want your damn check, I want your belief, all right? I don't want your money, I want your belief that you believe this business can work for you. That is the most important thing because honesty up front solidifies your posture and their trust, and your passion, though, and vision is what's gonna close the deal and help them set the next steps. Have a great day, guys. Get your 3 tickets to World Conference.